gun. Gun, 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 gun. This is a Friday edition of Sunrise Extra from the news studio.
Yes.
If you watch Sunrise Extra regularly, which I'm sure you do, Devin Haskins.
I do, yes. Bright and early, yes.
Maybe you should introduce first. Devin
Yes.
joining us today on Sunrise Extra because he was on the Sunrise TV show this morning because this is the time of year when we have a lot of people taking vacation.
Yep.
And sometimes we call people that work at night,
Yep.
come in and work in the morning.
Or during the day, yeah.
So you said this is definitely the first time as a reporter you've ever worked the Sunrise show.
It is. I've had to realize I have to be more awake on this show. So for 8 years I was a photographer.
Yeah.
You come in sleepy-eyed, 2 hours of sleep, didn't really matter. You don't have to be awake. It's a totally different
What time
ball
did your
game.
alarm go off this morning?
2:30.
Yeah.
And it wakes my wife up, so it was like,
Welcome
I
to
got to
the
get out of
club.
bed quick. I can't hit snooze.
Did you put
you got to jump in.
Is the alarm clock in a spot where you can reach it from the bed, or do you have to get out of bed to turn the alarm off?
It's in a spot where I can just basically slap
Okay.
it, and so that way it's like as quick as I can. So again, it doesn't wake the wife up. It's and it's the alarm. So I'm old-fashioned. I have the alarm clock
Yep.
that has the
Not the phone.
and then I also did the phone.
Okay.
So yeah,
backup.
I do too, just in case the radio for some reason is set really low that I don't hear it. So yeah, it's.
I have an old-fashioned alarm clock too. I do
Thank
the same
you.
thing.
Yes.
Julia, what time
Yes.
does yours go off?
Today it went off at 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sleeping
It's
in,
brutal.
I'm a little jealous.
Yeah, I know.
Do you not use
You guys
the
are-
old-fashioned alarm clock? Mm-mm. Really?
Yeah, I've got
You
two
just do the
alarms.
phones?
Okay.
Yeah.
One goes on
old-fashioned.
at 2:15 and one's at 2:30.
So mine, I had to move across the room, is why I asked you. It's probably about 5 years ago now, maybe 10. Doesn't matter. The fact is, one day I did sleep in.
Yeah.
And when I was still doing the out and about reports, and I slept until like 5:10.
Ooh.
And my first segment was at 5:11.
Oh.
And I was getting a call from my photographer at the time, Steve Hansen,
Yeah.
calling me. That's what woke me up, saying, "Where are you?" And I'm like, "Dude, I'm in my bed, in my boxer shorts." So after that morning, I moved the alarm clock across the room, forcing me to get out of bed to turn it
Yeah.
off. Because I guess that morning I just reached over, turned it off, and went back to sleep. Anyway,
Great Christmas present. You know, they make the ones with the targets, so you got to shoot like a Nerf gun.
Oh, I haven't seen
at
that.
it to be able to get the alarm to shoot or to go off.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. You know, if you want to imagine having aim though at 2 o'clock in the morning
No.
to try and stop that alarm.
Well, you mentioned Christmas present, which will help us get into today's Sunrise Extra topic. So we are talking about the holidays, and Celeste Ruiz, the executive producer of the Sunrise program, pulled this report up for us. There's a new survey that finds 4 hours or less. That is the maximum amount of time that people can apparently spend with their families during the holiday before you start to, say, lose your mind. The survey
lot.
polled 2,000 U.S. adults that were traveling to visit family for the holidays. The survey found that 75% of people will hit a point where they need time away from the crowd. Okay. 1 in 4 of these people surveyed have actually admitted to hiding in a relative's house to get that moment alone during a holiday celebration. And then 37% of the people polled, again, it was 2,000 U.S. adults, 37% of these people polled said they have gone so far as to make up an excuse to leave the house altogether.
Oh, come on now. I bet a lot of people have done that. Have you never agreed with your spouse prior to going to an event? Hey, we're going to give this, and then you set a time limit, and then you give each other that look about, yeah, it's time to go now?
Yes.
That's a pre-planned thing.
Then I'm the odd one here.
You've never done that?
No.
Ever?
No, I enjoy spending time with my family.
Well, no,
come on.
not just
Wait,
family.
yeah.
Any place that you go kind of like obligatory.
Well, yeah, if you get like a friend's Christmas party,
Yes.
that type thing.
Yes.
Okay, yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah, you give it like that 3-4 hour, you kind of, or you give the nod. That
Yeah.
little like,
Yes.
hey, do you just want to
Yeah.
go? Yeah.
You have how many
Yeah.
kids?
3.
You have 3 kids. So we're not talking about your wife and 3 kids. I imagine you'd like to spend time with them. Let's extend
Correct.
it a little bit.
Let's say
In-laws.
Kobe says yes.
Yeah.
Uncles, cousins, second cousins. It never ends with you? You always enjoy hanging out with all of your family?
So every year, and not just during the holidays, so every year in August we get
Yes.
together, the Haskins do, and we have like 100 relatives.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
And we all, and it's probably even more than that because we keep repopulating.
How do you do that?
The Haskins are fertile.
So we get together for like 3 days, and we all camp together on my grandparents' old property and whatnot, and hang out. And it's been an annual tradition. So for us, like I grew up around the big Haskins family for a long time. You know, you get to with my mom's side of the family, it's a smaller group. We'd get together like once or twice a year, and so yeah, those are the
But
kind of the
you
shorter
have,
ones.
if that's a big property, I'm assuming everybody has their RVs and their campers.
You have
and
your
so
space to roam.
You are not
Correct.
just
Exactly.
stuck in that little house.
When it comes to
With the crazy
And when it comes to
Because you know you have some.
I'm
crazy
probably the
Haskins.
crazy Haskins, and they just don't tell me.
So the way this show works best, Devin, is we get comments from our viewers and we share those comments with the rest of the gang. Because people are chiming in. I'm following the Facebook, and you can watch this, by the way, on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.com, YouTube. There's many different ways to catch the Sunrise Extra program. Rob in St. Helen. He always chimes in. Rob St. Helen is his tag. He says, Devin is not human. We actually have a lot of people chiming in, so let me quickly say good morning to Debbie. She says she's watching from Troutdale this morning. Paula says good morning from Newburgh. We say good morning to you, Paula. Pat Ellis says good morning to all, and she says welcome to the Sunrise Show, Devin. So
Hello.
a lot of you watching this morning.
Rodney Prowse, I don't know where you live, but you're saying good morning, so right back at you.
No one has really answered the question, though, so I guess the question would be this. Okay.
Did you mention MBB? Because she's always with us. Roseburg checking in.
Oh, there
good
she
morning
is.
to you. Yeah. Just got to
MBB
get
did
everybody.
start following a couple of weeks ago, and I feel like she is there every day.
Yeah, she is.
Okay,
Mwah.
so the question we're asking, we haven't really heard an answer to this necessarily, is what is your breaking point? How long can you spend with family? And I'm not talking about, say, the immediate family. I'm talking about the extended family that you may be spending the holidays with. How long can you spend time with them before you reach that breaking point?
I feel breaking point is extreme.
Before you have to leave the house and get out of the house?
Maybe just go for a walk, right? Like take a little break. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I will
It's
admit to
fresh
this.
air.
What's your breaking point then?
You know, well, I think my mom is watching, so I don't want to say.
Your mom's a sweetheart.
Never, I love it over there all the time. No, but
Good
yeah, you know, because my brother, I've got a niece and a nephew, they're little. And so sometimes when it gets too late and they start to cry, I'm just like, okay, love you, bye. Like, you put them to bed now.
That's a good one. Yeah, I'm out.
So MBB now commenting on the topic at hand. MBB says she has also never done that. She's kind of like Devin Haskins in that respect. She says she is glad to be with family. She says children can be fun, and we play in the snow. We come in and we warm up together.
That's awesome.
MBB, you are an angel.
Oh my gosh, Sophie Allen, are you for real? I'm watching from Canberra, Australia.
Whoa,
It's 2:10
whoa.
a.m. Yes.
Wow.
It's
Good
what
morning,
time there?
good night.
She says it's
good-
2:10 a.m. I don't know what day of the week.
Right.
I think
it would
it's
have to
tomorrow.
be.
It's tomorrow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What is tomorrow
Saturday.
like? Tell us about tomorrow. You're
my
from the
gosh.
future.
You're from the future.
And you're watching us on Sunrise Extra.
Rob
Sophie
St.
Allen-
Helen says 10 minutes. He can stay with his family for 10 minutes.
Oh, wow.
We do have a director now working on our Sunrise show in the mornings named Mark.
You need to stop.
What?
Because director Brian said, ask Sophie if she knows Mark. Australia is a big place. Come on now. You're not.
But it is pretty funny that Sophie is, well, I can't get over that. Watching from Australia at 2:10 in the morning tomorrow.
Sophie, tell us more. Go ahead and
Yeah.
type in a few things as
Are you
we
from
chat.
here originally? How did you find us? Meanwhile, we find that Paula Hayes says that she is good for about 2 hours with her family, and then she needs to hit the drink.
Yeah.
That's what she says. Those
I
are her
think you
words.
need to have a drink as you walk in the door. That makes the evening quite enjoyable.
Sophie Allen says, yes, I am for real. It is Saturday morning here in Australia.
Well,
That is probably the greatest
That is looking,
distance
yeah.
we've ever
How
had
did
between.
you find us?
Yes.
Like, why KGW? What, or do you have a connection to the Northwest? You must, because that would just be so random otherwise.
I picture her typing frantically right now to give you an answer. Meanwhile, Timothy chimes in saying, I am watching from Belton, Texas this morning.
Hey, a little southern
on a normal day, that
Yeah,
would be
cool.
impressive. But we've got Australia today.
Sophie's got you beat. Diana chimes in on the topic of the day, saying this all very much depends on the family member and their political affiliation, which is true, right?
That is true.
That could turn that holiday tide.
That's interesting.
But you got to
Very
avoid those
quickly.
topics or just ignore them and walk away. I mean, yeah.
100%.
I always feel like that's like
I'm
the
okay
best
with
way.
that. I don't really get people who have to they just cannot not try and convince you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm good not talking about religion or politics
Yep.
or like any other.
Yeah. No, if we're going to be serious about this topic, it is to me, it's honestly a little silly, and I'm giving you a hard time about it. But if I'm
that's
going to be
fine.
completely honest, I don't ever get to the point with my family, even my wife's family, where I'm like, we have to leave the house right now.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
No,
not like
never
that.
that bad.
You know,
Exactly.
certainly some people are going to annoy you. For heck, my own wife annoys me sometimes, and I annoy the heck out of her sometimes. But you know, we're staying together. And we're not going to spend the holidays apart from each other just because we get in each other's nerves once in a while. So
That's
honestly,
life.
if you ask me how many hours, I'd say never. There's never going to be a time where I'm just going to get out of here. But I will tell you this. This is a true story, and I tell this story, Lacey. You were afraid to share your story about your mom. I have a neighbor. She has a Hanukkah party every year. She could be watching this right now, and I'm going to admit to something. She has a big party, and I don't know probably 80% of the people that are in that house. So I walk in there every year with my wife, and she kind of splits off from me and starts being very social, and then I'm kind of on my own, and I get a little like uncomfortable because I don't know a lot of people in that room. So both times, the last 2 years I've been to that party, I have left and walked out and just walked around the neighborhood by myself.
You left Mia in there.
Yeah, it's our neighborhood, so I just kind of walked and did a little circle, and then I said, you know what, I'll go back in now. It's been about 15 minutes, and when I get back in, we meet eyes across the room, my wife, and she looks at me like, where the hell have you been?
So you don't tell her you left. You just
No,
slip
because she was
out.
talking.
But I think this is something that people don't know about you, because people have come up to me in public saying that they've met you. People think that Drew is like this all the time, and you are super, super funny, but when you're in public, sometimes you are very reserved, which kind of makes me think about the party where maybe you feel a little quieter because you're not always on, like, you know, up to a 20 instead of like a 5, and so I can see that
Thank you
that
for
would be a
understanding.
little, I get you.
Thank you.
No, so I think that's probably what you're speaking to.
So if you see me at a party and I'm not talking to anyone, please come up and talk to me.
Exactly.
I'm lonely and I may leave the party in a couple of seconds if I'm not talking to someone. Getting back to you, the viewers, it's your story, it's your time.
Did you see Howie?
Yes, I was just going to go there, but you can read if you like.
He says we go to the Grand Ole Opry. We spend all day with family, but that's fun because you're like seeing a show, and that's cool. I've never been there.
Sophie Allen, in answering the question of how did you discover us, how did you find us from Australia? We have an Australian watching this morning on the feed. She says her answer was, I'm on the KGW TV Facebook page. I think we get that part. We're wanting to know, how did you even find us at all? Like, how did you
used to
find
live
this
here?
Portland,
We are
Oregon
drilling down.
TV station while you stay there in Australia? Are you from here, and did you go there and know about us already, or how? We want to know how you discovered us.
I feel
as
like
a
if
people.
Sophie doesn't answer, it's going to bug Drew all day.
We will be thinking about it.
Oh, boy.
You know, this topic, we also
Yes.
have the megaphone, right, about decorating for Christmas.
Yes.
So
Do we?
people were
I never
weighing
saw
in
the
on that.
results of that megaphone. If we pop it up right now, there it is. Have you put up Christmas decorations was the question we asked. 64% said yes. I thought that number would be much higher. For goodness sakes, it's December 6th already. We have...
But we lost a week.
I understand,
did.
Lacey. You had to plan for such a
I
loss.
know, you're
But I always
right.
thought the day after Thanksgiving was the day that you put them up, or that Saturday or Sunday or whatever.
I always thought that was the majority of
Yeah.
people that did.
So I'm surprised 64%.
my Christmas tree farm closed after a bazillion years, and so I went there for the last 10, 11 years, and so then I started looking for a Christmas tree, and then with the shortage, I didn't find one that I loved, and then the last place I called, I was going to drive out to, I won't say where, but a little place out in Yamhill County, and the man told me that my Christmas tree that I wanted was $165.
See, that wouldn't make me want to buy it.
And I
there.
was like, that's too expensive.
Yeah.
That's too expensive.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know, God bless you, good, you got to make a living, but I can't pay that much. So then I put it up on my Facebook page, and like my followers, like I've got 100 plus ideas of where to go. So that this weekend, the tree is going up. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to decorate it. I'm going to get the house. Because right now I just feel stressed. I am absolutely behind.
Now, do you go for the full like groomed tree, or do you care if it has holes and spaces?
No, I
and kind of
like-
the natural look.
I like more natural nobles, but I've got, you know, stuff to deck, you know,
Yeah.
long ornaments.
It
so I
fills in
need
that those gaps. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I love nobles,
So
like
we
a
paid
big 11-footer.
We paid $30 for our tree.
For how
Where'd you
tall?
go?
We went, well, I had to cut off like 5 feet of the tree just to get it. We only have 8-foot ceilings.
Right.
So it's a farm in Beaverton. It's right off Shoals Ferry Road. I don't remember the name of the farm because it was like we were driving down. I think we were trying to go to another one and we saw trees, and I thought it said trees that way. And so I thought that was it. So we went there, and yeah, they're like $30 any tree.
$30 any tree.
$30 any tree. They're all different kinds. I don't know.
How tall was it to begin with before the
It was-
price came out?
It was probably 15 feet tall.
What?
Whoa.
Yeah, but like I said, about 5 feet of it was trunk, so we had to cut that off and then cut off even more when we got it back to our house.
So did you have to do the cutting yourself?
I did, yeah.
So they
I
don't,
mean,
did they even give you the option
trunk
of
was
cutting
only
it for you?
It was pouring down rain, so they were kind of getting to the other families.
Okay, so they do that service. I'm thinking, like the way you're describing this, I'm thinking maybe this is like the no frills tree farm. Like we've got trees here. If you want one,
Yep.
come in and cut it down, and off you go. But they're willing to cut it for you.
There were some, they were driving around. I think you maybe had to flag them down or something
Okay.
like that. They were willing to cut it down, and then they had these little cars or whatever, trucks that they would put it in the back of and even carry it up for you.
So you cut your
I
own
love
though.
that.
I cut my own and carried it up.
Borrowing one of their tools to cut it down, or you brought your own?
No, a little saw. Again, it was only.
But did you bring your own saw or borrow one of theirs?
I borrowed one of theirs.
Okay.
I could have, but I borrowed one of theirs.
So Jeff Lucas is weighing in. He said, I got my tree up only, no decorations yet. I hope it's dry out tomorrow. And
Yeah.
Rod said it's supposed to be rainy.
See if I can find that.
That's the thing. We've kind of been blessed with this great weather. That was the other reason I thought people would have had that decorating done because we've had like some
I'm gonna be
mild
out there
days,
in the
some
rain.
dry days. Getting back, I keep sharing the Sophie story, the woman from Australia. She's actually an Australian singer-songwriter. She says that she has contacts here in Portland, heaps of friends over here, and that's how she's found us.
I sing with
wonderful.
Australian singer-songwriter Luke O'Shea.
Yes.
Very cool.
Saw that little comment
Wow.
too. Meanwhile, Jeff Lucas, who watches us all the time on the stream, says, or pardon me, Rob St. Helen. Both of them watched us on the stream. First, Rob St. Helen. I'm watching from Portland. I found you by you telling us to tune in for Sunrise Extra. I got scared, so I tuned in. And then Jeff Lucas, another great follower of ours on the stream, says, I got my tree up early. Oh, you just read that one. No
I
decorations
did.
yet.
You were focused on Sophie.
Yeah. But we do love you, Jeff Lucas,
Yes,
for
we
watching every
do.
day.
Sophie
Should I focus on
Allen.
more?
Oh, see, Sophie Allen. I also love Keith Urban and Blake Shelton. Do you work with them?
Also impressive.
Whoa.
I mean, I do like them too.
Brian, our director, do you not want us to talk about Sophie anymore?
I know.
There was a sigh in our ear at one point. And he said, he
We're
just got in our ear,
obsessed
guys.
with Sophie.
He said, no, that was an accident. Was that out loud? I apologize. Director Brian Matthews behind the
so
controls.
Rodney says that 15-foot tree sounds like the Griswolds.
That is huge, Dad.
Now it is bare, but we do a couple themes. So we have like 5 trees that we do in our house.
Devin.
Okay, so we're a little excessive.
Oh my God.
So we have one really big fake. We have 4 fake ones. We do go out and buy the one real one every year, but we do one big fake one, and then we do like a pencil tree, which is the skinny ones. And then my kids have one. My girls have one in their room. I mean, we're talking like 3-foot trees
Okay.
in each of the kids' rooms, and they have their own decorations and whatnot. And so yeah, so the one that's really sparse, it's kind of like our ski lodge theme. So it kind of fits like it's something you would find in the mountain. So that's why we go for that. And the cheaper the better, because I don't want to pay $80 for a tree that's missing half its branches. So
That's probably why it was $30.
well, it was, yeah, yeah.
No, yeah,
So-
you said it's bare. What's bare?
Well, you have branches. It's sparse. You have branches, and then maybe 6 inches. You have more branches, and then 6. And then maybe there's a foot, and you have only branches that are 8 inches long.
Okay.
So it's kind of like, I wish I had a picture of it. All I have is it on top of our.
Do you have it on your social media yet? You haven't posted it?
Just a picture of it strapped to the top of my car.
Okay.
Does that serve as the main tree in the house, or is it that big fake tree that sort of serves as the main tree? Presents go under which tree?
They go under the fake tree just because of the space allotted for it. But the main tree, the lodge tree, is in our living room upstairs. So it's the one we see all the time.
Dan McFarling has his tree up. You guys are on it.
What's up, Dan?
MBB says not before the 10th. Okay.
Really? They
So-
give you 15 days.
So my aunt, or my wife's aunt, they wouldn't decorate as a kid until after her birthday, which was like the 14th or 15th.
Oh, interesting.
And so
I can understand that. She
Yeah.
wants to have her birthday.
Exactly. So they would make sure
makes
that they had her birthday, just like my niece, her birthday's on the 2nd. She's like, I want to focus.
The
Yeah,
second is one thing. What's the other date you mentioned?
the 15th.
That's waiting a long time.
But they would have.
That's 13
yeah,
days later.
Uh-huh.
What if their birthday was on the 20th? Would they wait until then?
Probably.
What if it was the 24th? I mean, at some point you just had to say, hey, I'm sorry. but
Director
you're-
Brian said that he found Devin's tree.
Oh, there you go. So there's yes,
That's
it's
awesome.
You see some holes, yes.
so yeah, it's strapped down right there. But
I like it, but at
We
least
got it.
you have it.
What's that?
30
You already-
bucks.
What'd you say? At least you have it?
Yes, I know.
I don't have a tree yet either.
Oh,
We're
you
gonna go
don't?
this weekend, and I'm worried because I know everyone says they've had to go to like 3 different places, and so. But I like to leave mine up to at least New Year's Day.
Yeah.
So that's why I wait
sure.
a little longer because I want it to last longer.
I would
Okay.
actually, I would let it go till at the end of January. January is like the most depressing month. There's no.
there is something
There's
about
nothing on-
undecorating your house
Yeah.
after 3 months of Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas
Yes.
to having it completely bare.
And you
you.
realize,
Yeah.
you know
I'm
what?
with you.
We're still not close to spring. We still got to
Oh my
get through a couple
God,
of
Drew, can we just
dark
enjoy
winter
the
months.
So
holidays?
depressing.
No, not
So
now. You brought up New Year's.
We have like a high ceiling, and so I get like 11-foot tree, but I'm the only one who decorates it. Like, and I'm a freak about those little winding those lights. It takes, you should see me up on top of that ladder, like trying to get on the very top.
Yes.
Exactly.
And
And I have a love-hate relationship with that, like neuroses that I have about my Christmas tree.
But once you get those
But you're
lights
not
up
alone,
there,
though.
You don't want to take them down at that point. You would like them to stay there for a while.
Yeah, but I'm with Devin. Once it's over, because usually I take some time off. I don't like having to think that I have to dismantle all that and come into work
Yeah.
every day. I kind of like to clear the deck and start the new year fresh.
So
we
the-
we try and go about the first weekend after New Year's as well, and usually it's just because of the time off, that we have. But yeah, I don't like taking it down on the 26th or 27th. I like to go farther.
a little bit.
Yeah, my wife likes it. I think she's like you. She would go farther into January, and I'm like taking down the tree without her knowledge.
Rodney shares a nice little Christmas story with us. Viewer Rodney, good morning to you. This is a nice story. It's got a beginning, a middle, and an end. Here comes the beginning. As a child, my uncle gave me a 6-foot Christmas tree. So Rodney, put it in his room. Rodney says his dad then decided to cut down a tree in their backyard and use that as the main Christmas tree in the house. But later, before Christmas arrived, that tree died. No matter how much water they tried to put in that tree, it died. So they took his tree out of his room, brought it into the living room. That became the main tree that Christmas, and his siblings, Rodney says, say that he saved Christmas.
Way to go, Rodney.
That is awesome.
One of the finest Sunrise Extra stories we've ever shared on
There
the
you
stream.
go. Pat Ellis says, I have a niece with a birthday on the 25th. So I guess they wouldn't have a tree.
Right. At some
LOL.
point, you got to say, you
Okay.
know what? Sorry. Sorry, your birthday
Catherine
close to
Cook.
Christmas.
Catherine Cook has a birthday on Christmas too, right?
Oh.
I think she's a Christmas baby. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Jenny Carlson, hello, hello. She says, my ex did a whole village with a train and a tunnel. I actually like that. I don't have space for that, but that's kind
Yeah.
of a cool thing too.
Do you guys do the outside lights, yard decorations, blow up dolls,
Ooh,
whatever?
I don't go that far.
No.
But I
No.
do simple lights on the house,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
are not
Those
up yet
pretty.
either.
Of course, tell us you don't do anything simple. So
Yeah.
make us jealous. What do you have on the outside for
All
lights?
I have is it just lines the roof. That's it. That's all I've done.
He
Okay.
is human.
I have made a snowman out of the lights though on my roof.
The
Just
highest point of the roof is how high?
Oh, not.
Is it,
It's a one-story rancher
Okay.
with a basement.
Okay.
So yeah.
You're on like an 8-foot ladder to get to
That's
that top point.
fantastic.
And then yeah.
Got
So
it.
we don't do much on
All
the
right.
outside. I mean, I would love to do more, but then it's just the cost of it. Like I would love to update our lights, to do like colored lights or do LED lights,
Right.
but yeah.
No, it's crazy the expense that is associated
It
with
is.
lighting the house for Christmas. One more comment, Cindy pointing out that her dad's birthday is actually December 24th and her mom's is December 25th.
Oh,
So
wow.
knowing those two things, she says, do we get no tree? No tree gets put up?
I'm just saying this was their family. I'm not saying this is the rule. This wasn't my family. This is my in-laws. So speaking of the study.
Yes?
No, just kidding.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
We were probably out of time. Jesus, 7:25.
Yes, that's why I'm starting to look at my laptop here. I got a little cut-in to do for the Today Show.
Oh, we have
We
to
go.
stop?
Yeah, we have to stop this conversation. Thanks for
Oh.
joining us, though, on a Friday.
Have
Enjoy
a good
the
morning.
weekend.
Have a great weekend.